everybody. I've got another Folio Society unboxing to do. As you probably, if you've watched my other video, I just did an unboxing of the limited edition of The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. When I bought that book, I already had another book in my cart waiting for the opportunity to buy something. It was just waiting there, a book that I wanted, a book that I don't have any good copies of besides our ratty paperback book, a book that I don't have any good copies of and I wanted. And it seemed like the Folio Society's version might be the one for me. It might be the best one out there. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but it was one that I wanted. So The Haunting of Hill House, the limited edition, came up. I mashed them buttons just as quick as I could. I already had this book in the cart, and it's on my way. In the last video, I opened up the box. I pulled out The Haunting of Hill House, and I didn't show you was this other book that was in the box. And that's what we're here to talk about today. It came with a free catalog, a free flyer. Came with a free flyer. That was in there. Look at there, neat. The Master and Margarita, Mikhail Bulgakov, I don't know. Sorry, Mikhail. I'm sure you're great. I'm sure I messed up your name, but that's not what we're here to talk about. All the best, Mikhail. What I'm here to talk about is this. This is a book that I've been wanting for a little while, and I just had it sitting and waiting, and finally, bam, pulled the plunger, pulled the trigger, fired, and I got it on the way. The Planet of the Apes by Pierre, Boulle. Mr. Pierre, once again, I'm sorry, I'm sure I'm saying the name wrong. Boulle, Pierre. I got that part right, maybe. Anyway, let's take a look and see. The Planet of the Apes, my first exposure. I'm sure many of you are in the same boat as me. My first exposure to the Planet of the Apes, Charlton Heston. Great movie. Even my kids like this movie, like that movie. I've got a 12-year-old kid today. Well, right now he's 12 years old, and another one that's 9 years old. The 12-year-old and I recently watched this, The Planet of the Apes together, and he loved the movie. He wanted to watch the whole series. I didn't have the heart to tell him. There was one really good movie and a bunch of other movies that I didn't like quite so much. I'll let him be the judge of that. I'm not gonna make up his mind for him. Maybe he'll love them. Maybe he'll say they're all better than the original. I don't know. But the Charlton Heston movie I loved a lot. I love a lot. And without any spoilers for this book, some folks have a tendency, when they've watched the movie, especially when they've watched the movie a bunch of times, they don't want to read the book because they feel like they already know everything. They already know what's going to happen. And here, you don't. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't have all the spoilers. Read the book. If you love the movie, read the book. You're going to find that you're in a very familiar, comfortable world, but stuff is different. You're going to go through and you're going to see, you're going to be surprised by things. You're going to be both positively surprised and who knows, it's going to be different. You're going to love this book. The book is terrific. It's terrific, trust me. So, back to the book here. Ooh, stucky. I'm going to get the book out. First of all, we got a very common paper type slipcase from the Folio Society. I love slipcases. I wish all books had slipcases. They're neat. I like a slipcase. But this is one of the things that really attracted me. The artwork for this book. This cover just looks so doggone good. I already showed you the spine, and there's our back cover. See the front and the back. The cover looks great. This is a perfect example of how artwork can make a book better. Just looks so good. Now, I bought this from the Folio Society. It's been out a little while. And I've talked already in previous videos about first prints and second prints and the like. When it comes to practically any book, I usually try to get the first print. Because as a beginning book collector, I started in the beginning collecting first edition books. Mostly hardcovers. In fact, I started collecting first edition hardcovers of my favorite authors. I was reading so many books, and I said, man, I'm a reader and I'm a collector of things, but I don't have a book collection. I tell people I love this author, I love that author, I've read all these books, but I got nothing to show for it. How things have changed. So I started collecting first edition hardcover books, and not knowing anything about book collecting, I quickly heard people talk about a first print. So what's that? And I started snooping around. I figured out what a first print is. Basically, when a book is printed, they print up a batch. That's the first print. When that batch either sells out or is spread out among all the bookstores and now there's more demand for it, they may go back to print, go back to printers, and they print out a second batch. That second batch may be called a second print. Still a first edition, but now it's a second print. Second print run, they may not have changed a thing. They just printed a big batch, sent them out, and they print up another big batch. That's your second print. And a lot of folks, when it comes to Folio Society and others, they think that's silly. And maybe they're right. I'm not saying they're not. They think that's silly because this first edition of this book was so many years ago. But still, that fell on me once that first print and that first batch that they made and sent out. It means a little something to me. I'm assuming that I didn't get a first print, and that's the first thing I'm going to look for here after all that blah, blah, blah talking. I'm looking here to see what the print run is. Usually they'll tell you, holy moly, first printing 2020. Now, I didn't know that. I was assuming I was going to get second or third print. So for those of you that care, I just ordered this a couple weeks ago from the Folio Society and got a first print 2020 batch. They obviously made quite a few in the first print run, the first batch, and now 2 years later, they've still got some. So if you care, hurry up and order it from the Folio Society. Get you a first print run. Now I keep closing the book so we can look here. Pierre Boulle, Planet of the Apes, translated by Zan Fielding, introduced by Franz de Waal, illustrations by David de las Heras. Holy cow. 3 names, all mispronounced. 4 names, all mispronounced. I'm really doing well. I'm nothing if not consistent. And there's illustrations and the pages that the illustrations are upon. And I'm not going to go looking at them all, but I'm not going to go searching by page. I'm going to let my fingers do the walking and see how good or bad I am at finding the illustrations for this book. This is one that I honestly have zero ideas. I have no idea what kind. Ooh, wow. I don't know if I could show this. We'll give it a shot. I have no idea. I had no idea what the illustrations for this book would look like. I honestly have never looked it up, never seen anybody showing it off on the internet to see what it would look like or any of that kind of stuff. But right off the bat, from the cover, front and back, and the very first interior illustrations, I'm in. I like this. You got apes in suits with guns. It looks like we're Prohibition era Planet of the Apes illustrations going on here. And the orangutan. If you've read the story, or even if you've seen the movie, you might know a little bit about this story that we're talking about here by some of the illustrations. They are very different from the way the characters are portrayed visually in the movie, which is nice, actually. If they were using movie illustrations, you might be missing something. So very neat, very nice. I'm looking at these illustrations for the first time. A lot of times when you buy a book like this, I've already gone online and I've seen kind of what to expect, so nothing is too much of a surprise for me. But I get to go into this in the raw. I had no idea what any of this stuff looks like, and it's cool. I'm excited. I'm doubly excited. Not only is mine directly from the Folio Society, it is in a rove. It arrived. It has arriven in perfect condition. It is a first print, which I didn't expect. I expected I might get a second, third, or fourth, or whatever. I really didn't know how long it had been since the Folio Society published this book. But I got lucky. Got a first print edition and some really neat artwork. So it's just win, win, win all day long. I'm excited. With that being said, read the book. If you like the movie, if you love the movie, read the book. It's only going to enhance your appreciation of the story. You're going to like this book. You're going to like the story. and it's going to enhance your appreciation of the movie. That's something that I've found to be true in many, many cases. A movie like The Island of Lost Souls, I've seen that movie 50 times before I read the book, The Island of Dr. Moreau. Once I read the book, The Island of Dr. Moreau, very different, but again, a very familiar place you're in, where you already know these characters, or you think you do, but you're getting different details, different events, different stories going on. A lot of it feels new enough. It's almost like I don't know. Anyway, a lot of it feels very, very new. And then when you're done reading it, I want to go back and watch the movie, and I appreciate the movie even more. The same thing goes for the Planet of the Apes. No matter how many times you've watched the movie, you're still going to love this book. I suggest you get it, you read it, you love it, you go back and you watch Charlton Heston do the thing, you're going to like it even more. Then I bet you. I can't think of any more lies to tell. Pleased, stoked, psyched to the max. C'est la vie, baby. The kids say like and subscribe, so please like and subscribe. I hope you like my video. I tried. That doesn't mean a thing, but I tried. I hope you like my video. If you do, how about giving me a thumbs up? Subscribe. They say it matters. And if you don't like my video,
if there's one thing in this world that I hate, it's people who think you care about what they're eating for dinner.
Wing night, boys. It's wing night.